The Feast of Seven Fishes is a holiday staple, but I am bringing you 2 new ideas to add to the rotation this holiday season that are sure to become a yearly tradition. These Romesco shrimp canapés are the perfect way to elevate shrimp, which can sometimes seem like a more boring seafood protein. But between the texture of serving them on the crackers and the flavors in this Romesco sauce, it is going to totally elevate the shrimp. So I already have my shrimp cooked here, and to make them, you are going to toss them in olive oil, salt and pepper, place them on a baking sheet, and then cook them at 375 in the oven for about 6 minutes, and they'll be perfectly pink. Now we're gonna make our Romesco sauce. So the basics of Romesco sauce are roasted red peppers, which you are going to get out of the jar, and some slivered raw almonds. So a very simple sauce to prep because it doesn't involve any chopping. So I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of the almonds into my blender, and then about half the jar of the roasted red peppers. Then we are going to add some sherry vinegar, and this is just gonna brighten up that sauce. And half a tablespoon of olive oil. Okay, and then we're gonna just blend that together. We don't wanna get it completely pureed just yet. You're looking for it to have those chunks still. And then we're going to actually add in 2 crackers because, believe it or not, one of the ingredients in a Romesco sauce is bread. So we're just gonna use what we already have and add in 2 of those crackers for texture. You could also use a gluten-free cracker or a gluten-free bread if you wanna make this a gluten-free recipe. Now we wanna puree it until smooth. Okay, once that sauce is nice and smooth, we are going to prep our canapés. So I have my crackers here. And we are going to layer on some of the Romesco sauce to each of the crackers. Okay. You can see it's such a pretty color and it's nice and bright. And once we get the shrimp and then some parsley on top to garnish, we're gonna have such a nice, bright holiday looking plate. Okay. And then you're gonna take a shrimp, place it on top, nestled into that sauce. So the crunch from the cracker, and then you have the brightness from the sauce, a little bit of parsley to garnish, and you have a perfect starter for your Feast of 7 Fishes. When it comes to clams, for me, it is all about the flavors supporting them that really make a great dish. And with smoky bacon, garlic, and tangy sun-dried tomatoes, this dish is one your guests will love. We're doing a Tuscan-style clam with couscous. So I have the couscous here, and why I like to use this instead of pasta is because the couscous really acts like a sponge. It is gonna soak up all the deliciousness that you are getting in that sauce. And that to me makes for something really delicious. It's also super easy to cook. You just boil 2 cups of water, put it on top of the couscous and cover it, and that's it. So it's a little bit less difficult, if you could call making pasta difficult, but it's a little easier even than making pasta. So I'm just scooping up some and creating that bed for our delicious clams. Now, to make the sauce, what we do is we start with some bacon, about 5 slices that you're gonna chop up and crisp in a pan for about 7 minutes and really let all that fat render because that's gonna be what is cooking up the rest of your ingredients. So you're really starting with a flavorful base. To that cooked bacon, you're then gonna add some garlic, the sun-dried tomatoes with some of their oil because that's gonna add a ton of flavor as well as 2 handfuls of spinach. You're going to let that saute for a minute because we don't want to burn the garlic and the spinach takes a really short amount of time to cook. And then we're going to add and deglaze the pan. So getting all of the brown bits from the bacon, a little bit from the garlic with some white wine or white cooking wine. Then we're going to add our clams, and those are going to take about 7 or 8 minutes once covered to cook in all of those delicious flavors. And then you are left with this beauty. Look at all those colors. They're so perfect for the holidays, and you've created such a flavorful sauce. So let's plate this up and make sure you want to get all of that flavor in there. And some nice clams for everybody. Those clams really want to make it into my bowl. Oh, I'm so happy right now to be using that couscous because I'm telling you the amount of flavor in those juices, it's just gonna be perfect. Plate this up nice. Gonna add a little bit of parsley just to add a little bit more of that brightness, and then a little bit of Parmesan cheese. And you have a main course that your guests are going to love. Happy holidays! Like and follow for more.